I've survived every world in Minecraft, but not this one. This time, I'm trapped in the nether for 100 days to see if I can stay calm while everything burns. Everyone tells you to escape your anxiety, to breathe, to meditate, to disconnect. But what if you did the opposite? What if you threw yourself into the most stressful, chaotic place imaginable and tried to find peace from the inside out? This isn't about surviving the nether. It's about surviving your own mind and learning to build peace in the middle of fear. This is 100 Days in the Nether Psychology Edition. Day 1 started like any other world. I didn't have much time to explore the bright and sunny overworld. I had to grab as many things as I could before entering the nether. I rushed to gather wood, farmed as many materials as I could within a day, killed some animals for food, and slowly prepared my inventory. I also found a cave nearby, hunted mobs, mined stone, gold, and iron, and raided the village for supplies. But before stepping into the nether, I made one strange decision. I didn't want to go alone. So I brought life with me. 3 cows, 3 sheep, 3 pigs, and 3 chickens. When I lit the portal, it wasn't just me crossing over. It was every bit of calm, hope, and company I could carry. The world on the other side was red, alive and screaming. The air hummed with heat. The lava hissed like it wanted me gone. The nether wasn't just a world, it was anxiety. Unpredictable, loud, and inescapable. And somehow, I had to make peace here. I started by building a temporary shelter, one that could house my animal friends for the time being while keeping them safe. Even on entry, I was already greeted by some hostile locals who did not want me in their home. I mean, I get it. It took me a while, with some close calls, but I eventually got my temporary living space completed. Eventually, I decided to make the jump to start building my permanent home. I found a nice spot in the air, surrounded by lava, and decided this would be my home. I started to build a bridge across the sea of lava below me, carefully moving block by block to avoid dying a painful death. Eventually, I started building my peaceful dome, a fragile, small bubble of calm in a world of chaos. It took me the next 20 days to complete construction on such a massive project, but I knew how important it was to build a base that would serve as my escape from the chaos of my mind. And before I knew it, the dome was complete. I started lighting it up and built a home for my friends, surrounded by greenery, a stark contrast to the ominous red of the nether. I slowly started bringing my animal friends over to their new permanent home in chaos. My animals wandered freely under the glow of light I'd stolen from the dark. I also started to plant trees and crops all around my base, making it look exactly like the overworld. Bright, green, and colourful. Psychologists call this the biophilia hypothesis, the idea that humans are naturally drawn to life and growth even when everything else burns. And I think I finally understood it here. Usually, I'd find the sounds of mobs annoying, the clucking, the bleating, the noise, but here, they became company. They were proof that life could exist even in hell, and so I decided to name my friends, making them a permanent part of my life forever. I put up signs around my house to remind me of the safe therapy haven I had somehow managed to create while surrounded by literal hell. Every crop, every flower, every sound was a reminder, peace doesn't always mean silence. Sometimes, peace is the noise that tells you that you are not alone. But even peace can turn fragile when your mind starts to wander, because sometimes, the louder the calm gets, the easier it is to hear the thoughts you tried to silence. Soon, the hostile locals found their way into my safe space. I knew that I had to get out of my comfort bubble to confront the demons that lingered at the edges of my world. Before leaving, I made sure to secure myself an insurance policy in the form of a respawn beacon. Knowing that even death would not keep me away from my friends and my home gave me the courage to explore the depths of Minecraft hell. I left my dome and explored deeper. All the different biomes surrounded by unpredictability. This time, it wasn't just my mind on fire. The whole world around me was quite literally on fire. The air was heavy, filled with the sound of footsteps that weren't mine. Every turn felt like a trap. The deeper I went, the louder my thoughts got. Eventually I found a local settlement, the Nether Fortress. And if you were wondering, no, I was not given a friendly welcome. Every skeleton I fought, every blaze I dodged, it wasn't just survival. That's what healing is. Not removing fear, but learning to keep moving while it stares at you from the dark. I decided to continue exploring the fortress and found some insane loot scattered around. I also bumped into a group of piglins and decided to try my hand at bartering with them. This was my way of mixing with the locals, so that I could eventually achieve peace with them. This showed me that no matter how scary something appears on the surface, confronting it head on is what makes you stronger, even if you accidentally die to 4 damage. When I returned home, something felt off. The dome was quiet. Too quiet. Then came the screams. The gasps were everywhere. I had been ambushed by the locals, I had overstretched my bravery, and now I was paying the consequences. I did not want to go out without a fight, but I was alone. I couldn't do anything but accept my fate. As soon as they breached my dome, I had to lock in to defend my friends, or else we would all be doomed. Then came the explosions. The Wither had appeared. I ran out, trying to fight, but it was too strong. Glass shattered. I found myself heavily unequipped to fight the monster that had broken my dome of peace. Every single second, I saw pieces of my home being taken away from me. Block by block, my safe haven was disappearing in front of my eyes, and the worst feeling of it all was the fact that I could not do anything to protect my friends, especially in a time like this where they relied on me to keep them safe. I put them in this dimension, and I was not able to save them. And before I knew it, my animals, my friends, were gone. My sanctuary destroyed. I stood there in silence, broken at my own failure. And then, silence. I opened my eyes. It was a dream. Everything was still there, but the fear, that part felt real. My heart was still pounding out my chest, and maybe that's the cruel part of anxiety. It makes you live through destruction that never even happens. You feel the panic, the loss, the exhaustion, all in a world your mind built itself. Luckily, I had my friends to calm me down. Just being able to see them again, feed them again, made me feel much better. That's the strange side of anxiety. You are merely one small step away from feeling better even when things seem bleak. The smallest things can make the biggest difference. After that day, I started noticing things. Shadows outside my dome. Movement where there shouldn't be any. Sometimes, I'd see glowing white eyes watching me through the glass, and when I looked again, they were gone. Maybe it was just light reflecting off the lava, maybe it wasn't. The more I tried to focus on peace, the more the shadows seemed to follow. That's the thing about anxiety. The more you try to control it, the more it finds ways to remind you it's still there. So I just kept going on, kept building, kept feeding my animals, kept trying to go on with my normal routine, pretended everything was fine. But deep down, I knew I wasn't alone. On the 100th day, I noticed something strange under my dome. A faint sound like water. I followed it, dug down, and found a tunnel leading straight through lava. At the bottom was a room. A sign on the wall said, "Herobrine lives here, run." I looked around, and there he was. But before I could react, the TNT went off. Anxiety is like that sometimes. It convinces you that something's always waiting, even when it's not. It lives under your home, behind your thoughts, in the corners you don't look at. But maybe that's okay. Because even if fear never disappears, you can still build peace above it. You can still choose calm, even when Herobrine's in your basement. So yeah, I survived 100 days in the Nether. But more importantly, I learned how to make peace in the middle of my own chaos. If you enjoyed this video, drop a like, hit subscribe, and ring the notification bell. And comment, what is your favorite memory of the Nether? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next video.